I'm Patty Wexler, founder and general partner at Avila, and I'm really grateful to be here today. Before I explain to you who we are and what we do, I'd like to cover a few observations that led to the founding of Avila. First of all, there's almost no clearer correlation than the one between economic development and energy consumption. If we care about lifting people up and increasing standards of living, we cannot avoid striving for abundant and cheap energy. Another thing is, venture capital is a tiny asset class. It's also currently kind of out of favor, but also very importantly, it is an important part of the economy because it drives incredible value creation. 80% of the value creation of the top 10 companies in the last 2 decades came from venture-backed companies. Why is this important for the people in this room? Obviously, one piece is that we need to create value to fund the initiatives to build the future we want to build. But secondly, equally importantly, as an investor in venture capital, you get a say in where our capital is going, and we're building the future that we want to build. Supercycles are big movements that drive incredible development and economic movement. Never have we seen one as big as the supercycle that is driven by climate and the need for moving to a sustainable way of living. Demand for energy, demand to deal with the natural disasters, and transitioning to sustainable infrastructure is driving literally trillions annually. This presents enormous opportunity to rebuild the world in a way that works for society and that we want to be in for our children and grandchildren. And finally, this might be preaching to the choir, but for me, trained in very classic business, going to business school, this took a long time to realize. But what I realized is that not only are impact and profit not disjointed, they're actually highly aligned. It is really, really hard to have a big, profitable business that doesn't cause impact. And it is actually really hard to have sustainable, impactful impact if you don't build something with profit. All these things, all these observations led me to start Avila. Avila is a venture firm. We are focused on backing foundational companies of our $100 trillion economy, which has to move from the way it is now to sustainable in as short order as possible. What we do is we do early seed to A investments we have very high conviction in. So who am I and how did I come to this? One of my superpowers to do this is to combine 2 important aspects of my experience and upbringing. On the one hand, I feel very privileged to have learned the craft of investing, sitting under Midas list investors in Silicon Valley, understanding how to do backing companies such as Facebook when it was the foundations of how Silicon Valley operated in this new economy. I have built a strong network, and my relationships and my experience allow me to source, to pick, and to win the right companies to put into the portfolio. But I feel equally important is my background and my current way of operating, which is I was born and raised in Venezuela. I was an engineer, and I have lived outside of the bubble. The combination of being within and without brings a unique perspective to investing. Sustainability is an issue that touches every asset class, every geography, and every aspect of our economy, and coming at it with a perspective that is 1 foot in and 1 foot out has really allowed me to arrive early to the right thesis and the right companies. I've been investing for 20 years, but doing this thesis for almost a decade now. I'm incredibly grateful that I was able to back early some of the leading companies in the space, like Commonwealth doing nuclear fusion, Carbon Engineering doing carbon removal, and 12 doing sustainable aviation fuels, just to name a few. And in aggregate, have been able to deliver top decile returns to my investors for years. Avila, which is a 2-year-old venture firm, is off to the races. Our portfolio has 12 small investments, and I think they have as much or higher potential as my prior crop of companies. They span from distributed hydropower to next-gen 3D printing to electric scooters in Latin America and many other things in between. If this is something that resonates with you and of interest, please reach out. There is no better time than now to allocate capital with conviction to build the economy of tomorrow. Thank you.